Yep.
There it is.
Okay, we're back here on Bridging the Gap, and we're now going to go over our questions that we have for today. But before we go there, we're just talking to everybody here and just found out that Bishop was part of the Seagull Century. How many Seagull Centuries have you actually
I did too. I did too. I did the first year I had a mountain bike. Now who has a mountain bike on a Seagull Century? It was a heavier bike. It was good going, but coming back, that wind just terrorized me. Yeah, but good thing that my mental capacity was well, and then my legs were well. So I went home, took a bath. I was gone the rest of the night.
You're going to repeat that again this next one?
Nah. Well, they changed the date, so if they take it back to the original date, I may do it. Yeah.
I'm impressed. I haven't got up the nerve to do one of those yet.
Yeah.
What about you there, Council Lady? Okay.
Can you honestly see me? I told my kids, I don't even know if I know how to ride a bicycle. It's been so long. I was very athletic, though.
Yeah.
But I just, certain things I'm just not going to try, like roller skating.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get in there with one of the electric bikes and we'll just let it
That's
cruise,
what we'd have to do.
All right. Well, I've got some questions here. Last week, there was a tragic death in the community here in Salisbury. Is there anything that you see that would... we could do better as a community to prevent these type of things from happening? And this is a question for either one of you.
Well, it's kind of hard. For one thing, people aren't apt to speak out and against. People could see things happening and won't even say they saw it, or because they're afraid of retaliation. So we have to get our mindset set on, okay, I'm just thinking, if it happened to them, it could easily happen to me or one of my kids or somebody else. So we have to get away from that fear of not speaking out.
Yeah, they call it snitching.
This is where the problem is right now. Yes, the police is supposed to do their jobs, okay? But the police also needs the community.
Right, support.
And that we can't allow our kids to just keep going around killing one another. It affects everybody. It affects not only because the guy's a shooter, he murdered whoever, whatever. It affects their family just as well as it affects the family who lost their child through murder. Because then you got a distinction between the parents now, because a lot of parents today think, oh, well, if you'd have done something with your child, then this wouldn't have happened like this or whatever. And it causes hard feelings. And people do not know how to adapt to that, do not know how to feel about that. And as far as our community needs to open up and be more apt to like when we were kids. Them parents, older people, they didn't care. Tell it. I saw. Yeah, she did it. Billy, she did it. I saw her when she did it. We have to, and then we have to speak to these kids and let them know, hey, okay, this is what it is. Okay, I saw what you did. I told a parent one time, and believe it or not, the parent was what did I do with my tissue or whatever? One parent, we saw something happen. And the police came and talked to the people, and the people knew what happened. And I sat in front of the police, and I said, so you're going to sit up here and teach your children to lie? You're going to sit right here in front of these police and these kids and tell your kids, teach them, because you're lying. You know what happened. You saw what happened. Where do we it's hurtful. Where does this stop?
Right.
Where does this stop? Because if you see something, say something.
Right.
A snitch is no such thing, and these kids with being loyal to the street. There's no loyalty to the street. The street don't owe you anything,
and they don't.
And
love
you
them.
don't owe the street anything.
Right.
What you do is own your own life something. You want to live.
Right.
You want to live, and you want other people to live. We have to first find peace within ourselves in order for us to find love and joy for others.
Yeah.
If we don't have that peace, and if we're not coming from a peaceful environment, then that's when you find havoc.
Right. And I think this is where being that I'm man of God, this is where the church need us more than ever. We don't need to host a lot of services in the church.
Come on now.
Okay, we got that. I think we need to have prayer walks, prayer marches. We need to have events like 100 preachers on corners. So that way, if somebody ride through the neighborhood, they're seeing preachers praying for people, because people here are hurting. People are angry. People are upset. And people, they are dealing with several issues. We need to have more services outside. My case in point, when COVID hit here, we had services outside. You didn't hear about all these shootings and crimes because everywhere, everybody was having services outside. And it was effective. And I believe God allowed COVID to hit to say, hey, look, y'all need to get out of these 10 doors. And then what we do after COVID, we went right back in the church.
Ran back in.
You know, so the thing is, we need to have more tent revivals. We need to reach I remember growing up, we had tent revivals. We had outdoor witnesses. We had outdoor movie. We showed. I never will forget outdoor movie. We showed. What was that? Burning Hell. We had it on a big projector, and we showed and we invited people, and then after that we had an altar call, and people got saved. Guess what? People are not coming to our churches.
No, they're not.
They're not coming to.
We gotta go to them.
We have to go to them.
You meet them where they are.
Yes.
In the street.
Yeah.
Meet them where they are. Stop, and don't be afraid to knock on a door and ask somebody. Do you need prayer? Or
That's it.
do you need prayer? Or what's going on in the community that you want to see change? Everybody's not going to come to a meeting, but we have to meet people where they are. You know, you're being told, don't knock on the door, don't go in there, don't go. But what do we walk for? What am I walking for? When I go to somebody, when I'm going out like that, I want to be able to tap into the community. You know, doors are closed, knock on them. If they open the door, that's all I want. Hey, what is it you need? What is it that you want? How can we help you? How can we help your community? What do you see in your community that needs to be rectified?
Nice.
But if you don't talk to people, you don't know, because people are not going to come to you. These young people are definitely not going to come to churches. You know why? Because they see so much in the church. They've been hurt too much by the church. And they're looking at people as who they are and like, okay, I've seen you do too much. I've seen you do too much. I've seen you do too much. Or not enough. It's not, if you don't do too much, you don't do enough.
There are always eyes watching.
Yes, we have to be, you know, Craig Mitchell just had a thing out to the amphitheater. I didn't get to go. I wanted to go, but I can't take that heat like that anymore. But I really wanted to go to not only support him, but, you know, come out and support. He's outside doing his ministry.
Yeah, he is. Does a great job.
I even went to Bishop Dickerson's church during the COVID time, outside services, because it was enjoyable. I enjoyed myself. But our kids need to be reached, and they're not coming in these churches like that. And as fast as they're coming, as fast as they're leaving. They're leaving. Because guess what? It's not change the message, it's to change the method of how we do things.
That's it.
We've got to change it. We're not 200,000 years ago anymore. These young people need something different than what we had, because we had something different than our parents had.
Who would ever think that I can go to McDonald's and buy a Happy Meal using my debit card? I never would have thought, as long as I've been going to McDonald's. Who would ever thought? So the more of the story is, if McDonald's changes, how come the body of Christ, we're not changing?
Nice.
We're not changing. We're going to have to change, because the church has to do different things. Paul says, I became all things to win a few. And sometimes, you know, there's churches over that neighborhood that can evangelize that neighborhood. What if those churches would have witnessed on Smith Street?
Wow.
Maybe the young man would be alive today. We never know, because you got churches over that neighborhood. So what if they will just, hey, look, can I just pray for you? Can I pray for you? I remember I was witness to this young man, and I prayed for him, and he broke down and crying. He said, and this was a true story. He said, "Thank you, Bishop Dickerson, because I was on my way. I got a shotgun in my car. I was on my way to kill this gentleman." He said, "But you prayed with me."
How about that?
And I was at your church one time and gave my testimony.
I remember,
And I don't know how old this young man was. And I was told that Sunday, that same morning, you need to stop telling your testimony. And I looked at the woman, I said, what? I said, no, you need to start telling yours. So when I went to the church, I had that same little boot. No, maybe I had a walker because I had surgery. And I came up, and before I could get up there, Lord said, tell your testimony. Kept saying, Holy Spirit kept saying, tell your testimony. So I said, okay. I got up there, and I was telling him everything that I've been through in my life. And after I got finished telling my testimony, after the service was over, he came up to me. He said, to look at you, you would never
right
that you've been through all of that. You would have never thought that you got anything. And I was like, And he says, you just changed my life.
Right. Yep, I remember that.
It's time taken out.
True story.
Wow.
True story. Yeah.
He said, you just changed my life. And I was like, and I said, Lord, why? I'm glad I didn't listen to the lady in my church who told me to stop telling my testimony.
Sure.
Because our testimonies are very vital. We don't go through what we went through for nothing. And people need to see, even somebody like April has gone through hell and back.
Sure.
They need to know it. They need to know if people would start telling more of their testimonies and stop lying and stop making people think you haven't done anything. See, this is our problem with the youth. They don't think you've been through nothing, or either you pretend to be this person that you're really not. Be truthful.
I have a saying. I told my church yesterday. I have a saying. I said, turn to your neighbor and tell your neighbor, before you plan my funeral, consult with God, because I don't die, I testify.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll tell the person in a minute. You can't tell my story like I can tell.
That's
my
right.
story.
That's right. Yes.
Let me ask you this: do you think that elected leaders get involved with the community enough?
No.
I mean, I know during election season you'll see them everywhere. But do they really get involved? I mean, Bishop, like at the shelter, do you see a lot of elected leaders?
I don't. I would love to see them. I would love to see them just like they go out and campaign. That's what you have to keep on doing to stay elected. I think so many people don't get reelected because you just see them that election. I mean, you see them all over the place, but you don't see them while they're in office.
Don't do community events. They don't reach out to their districts.
They don't do town halls.
They don't do anything. I mean, sometimes the town hall to me is going to my senior developments and talking to my development, my senior citizens. And then when I have my little events, I'm talking then. Letting people know, this is what I do. This is what I'm about. I'm about saving our district, providing, making sure things happen in our community. I mean, I can honestly tell you, I struggle because a lot of times I don't do, and lately I haven't done fundraising. So my thing is, I give out of my pocket.
Right.
I give my own money to suffice myself with these events, and they're all free. I mean, because asking sometimes for people to support you is like pulling teeth. I mean, like, what do you think? But a lot of this money that I do get, I either sell dinners, or I usually just give up my own personal money to make, because I'm not going to do anything. If I'm going to do it, it's going all the way. I'm going to be able to suffice these children, young people, and the families with everything, and everything is going to be affordable to them. Now, I do have one event that I do, and that's a Valentine's Day thing that they have to pay for, because that kinds of like put back, whereas I'm taking it from my senior citizens. I was supposed to have a senior citizen cookout, but I'm doing too much, and I know I need to slow down. But I do a senior citizen Christmas dinner and gift giveaway.
Wow.
And we have like 300 to 400 seniors, and everybody gets a gift. Everybody gets a meal. Everybody leaves out of there. They enjoy themselves. They have fun, and this is what it's all about. But a lot of I told a lot of them, when you come in here, you got to work. You got to put some work in your district.
They should.
You got to work. I told them. It's not like I never told them. You got to put some work in. You got to go to these people and have like little organizational days and just sit down and chit chat with them and see what it is they need or want.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I've noticed here lately, and I'm pretty sure you both are aware. I know you and I have talked about it. Within the last year or so, the county part of government decided to move the library and also the health department. And as far as I know, the health department's gone on Mount Herman Road. I was over to the shelter one day, and I think Sister Mary is the one that reminded me that the majority of the homeless are concentrated downtown, and they're moving the library, which is kind of a cooling center. Do you see anything that needs to be done differently to try to?
Well, the library has to move. It's got to build. It's got to become larger. It's not big enough for our demographics anymore. I can honestly say that. And what we have to realize, as we said, you don't change the message, you change the method. So I can say homeless can get anywhere they want to go. I'm going to be honest with you. They can get anywhere they basically want to go. I don't think it's going to hurt them either way, because they're going to find refuge somewhere. Now, the library has gotten smaller. It's smaller compared to our population today. So I can understand them increasing it and making it larger. And I know the Ward Foundation, that's where it's supposed to be going out there. We've had this conversation like maybe a year or two ago. I don't see where there's a problem. And you said
the health department. Vital records.
So the only problem, the only problem that I have with the library moving where the Ward Museum is that you have a school. So if we're talking about a group of homelessness making their way over there, you got walkers, and you got some people that are homeless. They're homeless, and they may have a history of being a sex offender. So forth. So, hopefully they know that they can't be near a school. Hopefully they realize that. But that's my only thing. That would be my only question. What would they be doing about safety?
But downtown, you have Unity Square now. So you got children down there too. Plenty, especially this time of year, it's been crowded. So we have to think on a positive aspect of, just trying to do the right thing and making sure, reassuring that there is a safety mechanism put in place.
You got to have it even in churches. We got a safe sanctuary in churches. And because I want to say this, just the other week I was at the playground. And this is funny, but it's not funny. And it was a man. He was standing there and he had a little girl standing beside him. And it looked kind of suspicious to me. And I said, "Come here, little girl." She came. I said, "Sit right here." And so the man said, "What did you say to her?" I told her, "Come sit here." He says, "Well, I'm her father." I said, "How did I know that?" I didn't know that. And he kind of got rebellious, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, but you ought to thank God that you have somebody watching your child like that. Concerned.
Because you never identified yourself as being her father. I don't know who you are, and I'm seeing her under you. Don't know whether you drew her to you or whatever." So after that, he came back and he apologized, and I said, "I'm just concerned about these kids. I'm just concerned. I don't want anything to happen to your daughter or any of these kids out here." So he said, I understand what you were saying. And he said, "Well, do I look like a pedophile? So what do they look like?"
That's right.
Good point.
What do they look like?
Yep.
Now, with the health department, just my thought. The health department moving out of Mount Hermon Road. The concern is like a lot of time with the homeless, because my wife and I, we do a lot with the homeless. We have been for years. They don't have identification.
Right.
And I know with the Christian shelter, I'm not sure if Halo does, but you work on trying to get them there.
Yeah.
And Hope does too.
And we partner with, actually that's what we partner with, because we don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
So we partner with Hope. So if we get a guest that doesn't have their ID, birth certificate, so because we know that's important, and you know, to cash your check, to identify yourself, to get a job, you know, you need your ID or driver's license, social security card, birth certificate. You need all that information. So we send them over to Hope, and we call to make sure that they went there, and we make sure we follow up to make sure that this person gets it.
So do y'all think that maybe transportation needs to be provided by local agencies? I mean, because like you said, they need to move the library.
We need transportation anyway.
Yeah, because
our city's gotten large. Yes.
Baltimore has a bus for the homeless. They got a grant. Philadelphia has a bus for the homeless. And you mean to tell me that Salisbury cannot get a bus?
We can.
For the homeless?
And I do believe that Wycomico County.
Yeah.
They pulling in a lot of grants as well. So we should be forced to do that because transportation is an issue for some and for a lot. But I understand, and what I understood was the health department is going in the old
Verizon.
Social Security.
The old Verizon building. When we say health department?
Yeah, it's going
to
to
the
old Social Security building that's on that corner by the park. Is that the one?
No,
that's the old Social Security building.
Unless there's another part that I don't know about. I know that they purchased the old Verizon building on Mount Hermon Road, and that's where the health department is going to be going. Now, the question is it going to be both parts of the health department? Is it going to be the one that's on Carroll Street? Because I was talking to somebody from the health department the other day, and I'll actually have the executive on next week. I'll ask her about that. But from what I understand right now, the health department is going to be moving over to Mount Hermon Road at the old Verizon building. So. Yeah, and like I said, one of my biggest concerns is there's lack of transportation.
Right.
Well, we're a big enough city now and county that we should be able to afford transportation. You know, we had Salisbury Transit, and I don't even see them like anything anymore. You know, it's really sad because our city is growing and growing and growing, and I'm not going to totally blame this on the councils today. This was something that should have been taking place day after day after day. Each term, the councils should have been working on things, but they were just stuck in one place doing whatever they wanted to do, but not thinking about the city growing.
Yep.
And it's actually growing.
Yeah. And we did have a better transportation service when I was growing up. When I was growing up, we had a bus that would run every 15 minutes down where on Main Street where the courthouse is. And remember, the old health department used to be J.C. Penney's. And
that's before my time a little bit.
And on the corner, there used to be Castleberg's.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but they had every 15 minutes. They would have transportation that was. I can't understand how come we have more now, but we're doing less.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was something that should have been transpiring through the years. It's not something, because it feels like right now we're being bum rushed with a lot of things that should have been implemented years ago.
Right.
They haven't been implemented, and now we're like trying to push for stuff and grab hold of stuff and put stuff in places that we're not willing to go to, but our demographics, we're growing. We are growing. The city was, 32,000 when I first started.
Wow.
And it's now up to 34, 35,000. So you've got to think about the
got to grow.
It's growing.
You got
and
to
then
grow
you got an influx of immigrants coming in. So it's growing.
Yep, it's growing. Yep.
So I mean, we've got to do better. We do have to do better, but it should have been doing better years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. It's like I said, even the road conditions. From what I understood, we weren't even asking for money for highway user revenue. We weren't asking. That's why our highways and our roads and stuff were in such terrible condition.
Wow. So,
and then we had just the last 10 years, we've had highway user revenues coming in because we had, and I'm gonna be honest, we had a mayor who was fighting for it, and we had a council who was supporting it, you know, and then we had a governor who was sending money this way to suffice because we were being neglected on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah, I remember there was a governor that made a comment about us too a long time ago.
Oh yeah, Schaefer.
But look, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here today. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm definitely going to have both of you back on again because I just didn't know that you two were so good together here. This has been Bridging the Gap. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll be talking to you soon.